Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's day one and the Minds and Money London with resourcing tomorrow just started this morning. It's Tuesday morning, and yeah, very warm welcome here from London. And I have my first interview partner is Vanstar Mining, JC Santamur, the president and CEO. JC, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. So you are the first one to be interviewed. That is always great.
Right,
We have been 2 weeks ago in Zurich, now in London. That's fantastic. Vanstar Mining. I'm not sure if we had you already on Commodity TV, so maybe you give us a short overview on the company, please.
Sure. Vanstar is a gold exploration company. I call this a low risk exploration company. And the reason I say that is we have an interest in a large gold project in northern Quebec with a joint venture partner, which is IAMGOLD. And the project already has 5.6 million ounces of gold on it.
Okay.
And our interest in this project is a fully carried interest. That means that IAMGOLD spends all of the money on the project all the way to production. That means our shareholders don't need to be diluted. We don't need to raise money to advance this project. And so it behaves very much like let's say a royalty, for example. So we don't have to put any money up to get to cash flow.
So all the way to production, that means you do not need to raise equity or dilute until you are really producing the first ounce.
That's right, exactly. For this project,
That's
it's
nice.
a great position to be in. It means that theoretically we could get to production with this more or less the same number of shares we have outstanding today, because we don't have to raise large amounts of capital. We don't have to raise money for exploration or economic studies and so on. So we're in a great position from that perspective.
So you said 5.6 million ounces. What is the status today of the project? What have you achieved this year? Can you give us a bit of an idea?
Sure, yeah. So IAMGOLD did drill the project this year. They drilled 10,000 meters. They've been actually drilling about that rate for the past, for the past number of years. And I think the plan, they're doing their budgets right now for next year, but they're probably going to drill about the same thing next year, maybe a little more. And the project is still not fully defined yet. The limits of the deposit haven't been discovered yet. So this is a project that's still growing. It's going to be larger than it is right now because it can grow. And as we can see over here, it can grow to the west, it can grow to the east, and it can also grow at depth.
Open to all directions.
That's right, exactly.
As we love to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, super. So if you would characterize the status of the project, when will we see PEA? What's going on from that side?
Yeah, so IAMGOLD hasn't given us an indication yet as to when they'll go to economic studies, but my speculation is they're busy finishing their Côté project right now in Ontario. That's the priority, but they will be, they've announced that they'll be pouring gold in the first quarter of 24, so in the next, say, 5 months. And so I think with that behind them, they'll be spending a lot more time on this project, which means I think they'll accelerate the programs. I think after this drill program for next year, they'll have enough information to know roughly the scale of the project, and I think they can start economic studies at that point. So
okay, super. So that means you are fully dependent on IAMGOLD with the progress now of the project because they pay for it.
That's right. They're the operator. We have a 25% interest currently in the project. They decide, the drilling programs, the amount of money they spend, and so on. We do get monthly updates and monthly reports, so they do keep us apprised as to what they do. We have no way of forcing them to move forward or faster. But having said that, like I mentioned, I think once Côté is in production, this project is high on their priority list, and I think we'll be getting more attention. So they'll be moving faster.
Yeah, okay, so we could describe as the only risk on your side is that IAMGOLD takes a little bit more time.
Yes, that is a risk, and some people may say that from an investment perspective, why would I buy it now? It may take a long time, to advance the project. I think the thing I might add to this is that this project, even though it's a minority interest from our perspective, could be of interest to other companies, not just IAMGOLD. The fact that it's a carried interest, and like I said, we don't need to put any money up until we get to production, means that, it behaves very much like a royalty. So a royalty company may be interested in coming and buying our company as a result of that. So it creates a bit of competitive or urgency maybe for IAMGOLD to move faster on, if not the project, maybe looking at us as an acquisition. let's say, because
Okay,
they do
I
have
see.
competition. So.
Okay, so then master question in these days, what is cash in the bank? Because you still have some G&A to cover for sure.
That's
Are
right.
you covered for the next years on that, or do
Yeah.
you have to finance?
No, we have we'll have over $2 million left by the end of the year. That can sustain us for at least 4 years if we do nothing. As I've mentioned, we don't have to put any money up on this project, so we doing nothing is actually an option for us, and we can still create value because as IAMGOLD spends money, they're creating value for the project. We do have other projects that we can spend money on if we choose to. But we'll be careful about how we do that. We'll be selective. If there's an opportunity in the market to raise maybe a bit of flow through, we might do it, but we don't have to, and we don't have to do it in these markets. So we'll pick our timing, and we'll be prudent with the cash that we have, and we'll decide how we go forward when it best in the way that suits shareholders the best.
Okay, super. As this is an open pit, it looks like. Yeah?
Yes.
Let's speculate for a second on the future. No forward-looking statement for the regulators, just really hypothetically.
Right.
What would you think, with your experience, this could be one day, let's say in the next 5 years, if you want to do it like that, what could be produced out of that? How do you see that project?
I think this project is, like I said, it's going to be larger than it is currently. We're currently at 5.6 million ounces. I think it's likely to be closer to 10 million ounces by the time it gets into production, and maybe more than that in the future. Of course, that's me speculating. But it is a large project. So the strike length here is almost 3 kilometers. So it's going to be a large open pit that's on the scale of something like a Detour gold mine or the Malartic mine. It'll be a large-scale project. The orders of magnitude are large. The capex will be on the order of $1 or $2 billion. That means the value of the project will be on that same order of magnitude. So it's from for our shareholders, it's a very valuable project. And I think this project will go into production. It's close to infrastructure.
That would be my next question. Exactly. Yeah.
It's close to infrastructure. It'll help with capital costs, and like I said, I think as Côté gets into production here, IAMGOLD will be turning its attention to advancing this towards production over the coming few years here.
So by the end of the decade, it should work. Hopefully.
Potentially it could, It could, potentially,
Okay, super. Is it gold only, or do you have something associated?
This project is gold only.
Okay.
Actually, Vanstar's, all of the exploration projects are gold focus. We do have some exploration projects that have the potential for lithium pegmatites. And we've signed a joint venture on some of those with Mosaic Minerals, for example. They're spending some money on one of our exploration projects, and we'll see what they find on there. But those projects all have potential for gold, and some of them have pegmatites on them, and who knows, maybe they'll find lithium there.
And
too.
those exploration projects are also inside of Vanstar mining?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Super.
Yeah.
So you intend in the future to spend some money there?
We may, and like I said, we'll be prudent with our funds. So we'll decide as we go forward here. We don't have any urgency to spend the money on it, and so we'll see what the market brings us.
Okay, super, perfect. We see what the market brings us. Merry Christmas! Thank you very much for the interview, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was JC Saint-Amour, and he's the CEO of Vanstar Mining. Yeah, you heard it. 5.6 million ounces in the resource, working with IAMGOLD together. It's a 75 to 25% joint venture, and I must say it's fantastic because it's like a long option on gold without any risk in that sense, because it's financed through to production, because IAMGOLD has to pay for it. So there's a pretty cool thing, and as JC said, there might be somebody coming in, so there's also some takeover fantasy, I would call it. So thanks for watching us. Merry Christmas, and bye-bye from London, Mines and Money.